Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am Winona and I am joined with the amazing and wonderful and awesome.
Gosh. Alright. Hi, folks. I'm Arthur. I play chicken.
And I play a funky wizard and his little son. Which, this funky wizard, Scribbles, has written a letter to you maybe a couple days prior saying that he's going to be busy really soon and he was wondering if Talk would babysit Scratch.
I. I'm sorry, my cat is squeaking and it just knocked me the fuck out of character. Yeah, I mean, T.O.C is amenable to this. They've met Scratch before, even if it was relatively briefly. Like it's they're a grandparent. Grandparents are really good for one function only, and that's for being the parent when the parents can't parent. So they're just like, well,
Yep.
time to pack up all my jigsaw puzzles and head on over.
Yeah, and you've been to Scribbles' apartment before, and so it's easy. It's a traffic is not that bad today. You get there pretty fast.
Mm, scene change.
Woo!
Yeah, it's. I think TOC actually does arrive with like a slightly ominous like bag. Uh, you know the sort. Like, it would be an oversized handbag, except that it's as big as them, so it's sort of dragging on the ground behind them. Why isn't it in their camera space? Aesthetic. Anyways. But yeah, they will go up and knock on the door.
And when you open this door, Scribbles is there, and so is Scratch, who is sitting on his shoulder. Oh, Talk is say, come right in. Thank you for doing this for me. And I would have asked Marigold, but unfortunately she's not around right now.
Hmm. Yeah, they waddle in after him. Be fine. Yeah, she has had a lot on her mind lately. I really don't mind helping out. How have the two of you? How have the two of you been?
Oh, we've been good though. She hasn't been around lately, so I haven't been able to catch fully up. But doing pretty good. Be planning well, I'm hoping things will die down for me to go out to Saluma for a day.
Hmm. They, I think that they sort of like they don't, despite the fact that they are co-parents for a child, they don't know Scribbles that well, and they are actually trying to improve their sense of healthy boundaries. So they
Mhm.
don't level a look at him that's like self care, you fucking smart person, the way that they might with like say Nebula Rose,
Mhm.
but a deft insight check would probably get that they're just like, okay.
Uh, yeah, and Squirrel's like, it's not anything bad. No, no. It's just I was actually thinking bringing Marigold along with me. It'd be just a very short research trip. It wouldn't take that long. It's just I've been so busy lately. We haven't really found the time to go out there.
Mm. They nod, like sounds reasonable. They like I think in their little chicken head, there's like like a hit list that says uh self care on it. Um and like the name Scribble Scratch moves a little bit farther down the list.
He's been getting some help lately from his girlfriend.
Mm.
so
Yeah, and then,
so the apartment is back to what it was normally.
hmm.
good thing good thing Talk didn't see it before Scribbles cleaned it up. He then would probably be very worried.
Yep. Yep. Gosh. Can they see Scratch around? You
Yes,
said
Scratch is
Scratch
on.
was on Scribble's shoulder, right?
Yep, and Scratch is watching
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. They'll sort of give Scratch a grieved nod, like, yes, indeed. Eye contact.
Scratch smiles. Well, he does his equivalent of a smile, and he glows yellow.
Adorable. Right?
But oh, he Scribbles looks at his watch. Oh, I need to get going. Scratch, and he like puts Scratch. He takes Scratch from his shoulder and sets him down on the table, and then takes out his takes out his spell book, which the way he summons his spell book is with a clap of the hand, and that clap like sort of makes the tunish like sound word over his hand, and that transforms into a spellbook. And he sets the book on the table. All right, leave that there. Uh, Scratch will tell you all about the spellbook. Very. The long and the short of it is he is tied to that spellbook. Uh, that is the say other than himself, it's sort of the core of his being. He looks at his watch. I gotta get going. They say Scratch can tell you about when I'm gone. You two take care of yourselves. As he then leaves the apartment and closes the door behind him.
Mm. Like, that classic babysitter routine, like, there's macaroni in the fridge, the emergency numbers are here, here's the core of my child's being. Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's T.O.C will process this and they will turn and look at Scratch.
Scratches smiles and he
Mm.
signs, "Hello."
They sign back, hello.
Uh, he looks a little bit shy, and
Mm.
he turns slightly purple. Uh, is it okay if I'm, can I touch you? It's easier for me to speak. Or I like to at least speak this way a little bit more.
I think that they very gravely nod. Does Scratch look like different from the last time T.O.C saw them?
I mean, he's a 3D ball. He is about the size of a tennis ball.
Mm.
He is not two
I,
dimensional, he is three-dimensional.
mm. That is definitely different.
Mm hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think they will very gravely nod and like sort of settle themselves on the floor in a potato shape so that a person of, tennis size height and shape would be able to pet them.
Yeah. It's Scratch like floats over to T.O.C, sort of settles right beside them, and like leans on them. It's like, and you hear this through telepathy to their minds, like, "Thank you."
It actually, hang on.
I
Hmm.
saw that.
Yeah, that was a decisions uh need too. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that they sort of blink and they're like, well, yeah, they're gonna do it. And then they basically tuck him underneath a wing like an egg.
Like There's stars in Scratch's eyes. Oh, you're so warm and soft. Is this what these are what feathers feel like, right? I haven't really touched much feathers before.
Hmm. It. Hmm. How does telekinesis work with T.O.C? Or not
It's
telekinesis,
only
telepathy.
one way. You can't respond. T.O.C would still have to
Okay.
sign, but you can definitely hear Scratch's actual voice.
Okay, that actually makes it much simpler for me.
Mhm.
They sign. I would hope so. I my feathers do not always feel the same way. Depending on whether they're Toon or real kind, or how well they have been dusted that day. But
Are you,
they do a chicken shrug. Yeah, they're chicken. This is what chicken is.
oh, you're half Toon, half real kind?
They seesawing like percentages are hard, but they're in the process of going from one to the other.
Oh, kind of similar to me.
Hmm,
I mean,
maybe not.
I wasn't real kind, but I mean, I wasn't able always to touch or feel anything. I was just more like a ghost until more recently, until I soul bonded with Scribbles.
They How does POC want to react to this? My head is so disjointed, like I'm struggling to be chicken.
It's okay.
Um, they I don't think that they actually like knew that,
No.
so they're just like, okay, small child, and like the first thing is they definitely bundle Scratch a little bit closer. Sign. Yeah, yes, it is quite something to look at yourself and realize that you were not what you were.
Yeah, it's weird. But I like it too. I
Mm.
I don't know. I almost it uh, he just sort of like curls in. He sort of does his motion of sort of curling into himself, and which means curling more into T.O.C. like a
Mm.
chick.
Yeah, like it's at this point, like I think they've sort of instinctively fluffed themselves up. Like it's Scratch would be barely visible to an outsider perspective. Like this is basically what they're made for in a couple different ways. They are fluffy and warm and very good to just hold on to for a bit.
Yeah,
Um
it Scratch himself feels like a very soft and smooth yarn ball.
oh gosh. Yeah, they I think eventually like they'll let Scratch sort of vibe in there for a bit, and when they look up again, T.O.C will sign. It is it is a growth, I think.
Growth?
Stagnation. There are many reasons to avoid stagnation, and even if change is not as dramatic as it is for everyone, as it is for us, I don't think anyone stays the same, really.
Scratch nods at that. Yeah, it it's just always sort of I don't know. Change is also sort of scary. Like when Scribble and I first left UPA, that felt very scary.
If you see, like, they don't look like skeptical, but like their eyebrows do raise a little bit. Like, when I left my home, was very eager to see what was beyond.
I mean, I kind of was, but also, I don't know, kind of wasn't. I liked home, but at the same time, it's complicated. More for Scribbles than me. It's hard when, for most of your life, you couldn't really see anything. The only time I could see was when Scribbles opened up my book.
Hmm. I think that they nod sagely and they go, you know what really tripped me up? Clocks. I did not realize that clocks meant a thing until, well, actually, more recently than I like to admit. I thought perhaps people just liked the noise.
Huh, you didn't know what time was?
Well, time is the day and the night and the year, but I didn't realize that clocks were associated with time.
Oh.
I mean, people put paintings up. Perhaps clocks were just paintings that made a funny noise.
I mean, some clocks are look really cool and they almost do like a piece of art.
Mm, they nod like, yes, exactly.
I can understand that. I just say when I first was able to feel, I don't know, it's just let's see, it felt like it felt like an overload. Like everything in my life changed in that moment when I started could actually feel stuff.
Mm,
Like I couldn't understand the concept of sharp or like pain until now really because like I really couldn't feel those until now.
mm. They, I think they like they lift their wing a little bit to like preen the top of Scratch's head, just like, yeah. You can actually probably feel that like they are infinitely gentle with this little fella, but like it's their beak is actually still pretty sharp, even rounded with sort of a tune outline as it is.
I'm gonna roll something really quickly. Yeah, you as you preen scratch, he even though it does like feel a little bit of the sharpness, you then hear a little laugh in your head. It's like, hey, that tickles.
Gosh, uh, T.O.C will stop and wait for Scratch to look up to meet their eyes.
And yeah, Scratch is turned yellow again as he laughs. And then
Mm.
when he calms down a little bit, he looks up at T.O.C.
Yeah, they look extremely mischievous. Like it's you know the sort of like if you've got an uncle or something who's like, ah, yes, a way to mess with the adorable little toddler.
No! And he like sort of dives right back underneath you.
uh, he can actually probably like feel them and also hear them laughing, like just a gentle like a low warm sort of chuckle. um and they will eventually like fish him out again, uh and just sit there like it's, gosh, they like this kid.
Yeah, Scratch is glowing. See, it's glowing yellow, very happy. He looks up at T.O.C. and he's like, "Thank you for doing this. I wanted to get to know you more."
they 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 give him a grieved nod and they go, it is it is good to know that you are not alone in what you know, not alone in what you feel.
Scratch nods. Yeah, it feels nice that you've been through something similar. Though,
Mm.
it, I mean, I feel like, hmm, promise you won't tell Scribbles?
They, with one feather, they do the cross your heart, hope to die motion.
Scratch. Yes. And Scratch looks up at them and is just like, I think Scribbles is still guilty of not realizing it. That I had a soul until more recently.
Mm. Mm. Please sign. You've taken Scribbles as your guardian, yes?
He's my dad, yeah!
Hmm.
He's always been my
Good.
dad. It's just, we haven't really said it to each other, you know? Like, he was the one who created me. I used to be just a little doodle in his book when I was a kid, when he was a kid, and then I grew into this.
Then, first of all, you should tell him, because I'm sure I don't have to tell you that words have power. But, little one, you must. There is a certain amount that you must trust the people around you to both take care of you, but also to take care of themselves. Scribbles is not your responsibility. He is your father, and if anything, you are his responsibility.
Mm, he shift he shifts around a little bit underneath you, and he's just like, I don't know, it's hard. I sort of been taking care of him my whole life. All I wanted was to see him smile and be happy. It's just, for a long time, he wasn't.
Well, I was never a child as you are a child now, but I can tell you that there is nothing a parent can cherish more than seeing their child happy, to see them thrive and grow. The best way that you can help your father be happy is to tell him you love him and cherish yourself the way that he would want you to.
Yeah. Scratch, like, looks down sort of at his hands and stuff, and then sort of looks up at T.O.C. He's like, okay. Yeah, I see. I do love my dad. I also like my new mom. Also, I like Big Sister too.
Mm. Your older sister is very nice.
She is. I love her very much.
Hmm.
We had a lot of fun last time we were together. I was in my ambulata form.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. As he like gets out from underneath you and goes to the spell book and opens it up to a blank page. And let me pull the picture. Thank God it was in the folder that it was opened up to. He draws a picture with color. It looks like this.
Adorable.
Yeah, yeah. This is me in my ambulance form, which is over here, over here, over here, over here. As he like then flies across the room and comes back from where the flowers all are. you can see on the other side there's like a little flower nest that is like in the on the table where some little potted plants are right next to the window. They're not drawn on the actual map yet because I haven't had time to, but that's a different thing entirely. As
I
he
gently pat you.
Yeah, as he comes back and floats back with looks like what a little doll, similar it that looks like to one of those art posing dolls.
Hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mhm. This is it. It's an ambulance that Faber made for me. It let me have this form though. It needs to recharge. I want to say I can't do it. I can't go back into it yet because it hasn't recharged just yet. And Dad said that I shouldn't use it even when it does recharge because he wants to go to say, like Dad said, we're gonna go to Soluma so we can test out this ambulata in full. Because I can do magic in it too. Like I can actually do spells.
Hmm. TUC just sort of listens with like the the serious like really of like a grandparent who mostly understands. They certainly understand like how like important this is to this young one.
Oh.
Maybe not all of the not necessarily, the a couple of the particulars. There's a couple words in there they don't understand, but they're just like it's very impressive.
Yeah, this kid is smart. He is smart for a baby.
Smart baby. Uh, yeah, it's gosh. I think that TUC like all right, my cat is here now, and if you hear wayward scratching noises, that's him.
Oh.
Um, gosh, yeah, like it's like hmm. Honestly, I like they just sort of settled in next to this doll, just like you're just they're just listening, man.
Yeah, and he probably tells you like a little bit of how he's done it in some of the magic, but it probably just flies over T.O.C's head.
Yeah, I think that they do actually. They ask, what about that flower? At the ambulato's waist.
Oh, ambulata? Yeah. Uh, Here. It's like he sets down the doll and goes back to the page where the little sketches. Oh, uh, I he turns pink now and sort of looks like he looks a little bit embarrassed. Well, when I came up with my form, I didn't really have a lot of original ideas, so I took some design choices from people I liked and who were close to me in my life, and the little flower came from Marigold with her little roses on her saddle. I say I like the idea of a little sort of little belt waist sash and a little flower connecting to it.
Like that very much as well. Actually, here and they let's see. I reach around my cat to type. All right, four.
Yay!
They pull out of their hammer space a chrysanthemum blossom, or not a chrysanthemum blossom. Gosh, a marigold blossom, and they go here. It may perhaps the next time you take this form, you can add it so that you can have them on both sides of your waist.
Yeah! Marigolds! Mm. He then looks at this marigold, and you can roll an insight if you want to.
Sure. 19.
He looks very concerned about this marigold, but he's trying to hide it.
Uh, I think that they'll sort of nudge him with their beak, like, what?
This isn't from. He sort of accentuates from marigold, is it?
They. Here's the thing, because Miracle gave T.O.C a pot of ever blooming marigolds from her. And so it's honestly a toss up as to whether or not this is a bloom from the marigold plant from Marigold.
This child is still
But
concerned.
yeah, I think that they just sort of there's a beat of silence, and then they sort of place it on top of Scratch's head, stem up like a little hat.
Aww. So I I I just want to make sure it's still like she's only told me recently about those marigolds, and it's just I still worry though. It's still taking something away from her that's a part of her.
Worry as well. Um, but the fact of the matter is that no one knows how Marigold works except Marigold. And even then, it's a work in progress. However, I do know one thing, and that is that plants, when they are well loved and well tended, always grow back.
Scratch nods. He's like, okay, if this is true, this is true. I have because like if you say so, I don't know a lot about plants. I,
Mm.
I mean, we've Scribbles and I mean my dad. I mean, we've been learning sort of about them more recently because we got those plants. And he points to the plants over by the windows. Well, for Marigold, and well, for Sally too. She's my mom. She really likes lavender, so we got her like a small lavender bush too. And the lilies of the valleys too. She really say those are her favorite.
Can you just take a look at
Yeah, I feel
these
like
house plants to
yeah,
see how well they're doing?
yeah, I bet that Scratch probably has took a wing and like started pulling T.O.C over to the plants.
Oh, that's adorable, especially with his little hat.
Yes, little marigold hat.
I'm just like it. I'm sorry, I like this visual so much. Like just like a little fuzzy like tennis ball creature with a marigold hat. Gosh, but let's see. What what role do you think this would be?
Probably just nature.
All right, hey, T.O.C, where's your nature, bud? Oh, come on. I shake my computer. Come on, you were doing so well for so long. Oh, here we are.
Oh.
All right. All right. Hey, that's a
Whoa.
nat 20. That's
Yeah.
a 22, friends.
Woo, nat 20. Yes. Yeah, you could definitely tell like these plants are taken care of, but you've been gardening. You know plants. It's just like, you know that they could be a little bit better. They've probably been like they haven't been dying without marigold, but they have say they could be they probably a lot of attention has come from her.
Mm. Yeah, they're just going to. Well, first of all, they're going to go. Oh, these look absolutely lovely. What a good job the two of you have been doing.
Yeah, we
What?
got we got these little galaxy cosmos. As he goes over to like some cosmos that actually like have little like galaxy patterns in them, and he goes over
That's
to
fucking adorable.
yeah, and then he goes over to the Lily of Valleys, which are two plotted plants. He's like, this one's a regular Lily of the Valley. This one, and he like bats at it, and the Lily of Valley ri- dingles like a bells. This one makes bell sounds.
Gosh. I'm also dying because, like, to be fair, I live in, the climate that I do, but I've never seen cosmos as an indoor plant before. Like, it's what are they doing over there? Um,
That's what Marigold wanted.
uh, but they, I think that they nod sagely, and they're just gonna go. Okay, well, how about why don't you show me how you like to water these?
um, and he goes over next to the little mini lavender bush or plant. It's a
Oh, hello, Winona.
but there's a small can of water, and
Mm,
he's like, usually we just put water in here and just like he like looks inside. Oh, there's a little bit left, and he goes over. He let's see if he can lift this thing today. Yeah, he can lift it.
oh,
It's not a huge watering can, but it's a good size though compared to him.
he
Yes,
is strong, baby.
he is strong baby. He lifts it over to the Cosmo plant and sort of just does like the novice way of I would call watering plants. Just like fills it up to like there's like little puddle of water, and then the dirt eventually soaks it back into the ground.
Yeah. T.O.C is just gonna be like, okay. We're going to be careful and gentle about how we correct this baby. Um, and I think that if he allows them, they will take um, they'll take the can of water from him and go refill it, and they'll go, why don't I show you the traditional way of watering plants?
Oh,
Here,
okay,
watch closely.
okay.
And they actually they show, like you spread the water out, you make sure it soaks through all the roots, you get
Mhm.
the soil,
Yeah.
the correct amount of saturation for each plant.
Yeah.
Um and like for as many houseplants as they have, like if there is cosmos and lilies of the valley and like
Mhm.
then it probably takes like several cans of water.
Yeah, and they do. It's basically one big table that's in front of this window that gets all the sunlight in. Since it is winter, it's still winter outside two times, so it's like too cold to like make have one of those like hanging bushes. Not bushes, it's the hanging potted plant things outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mhm. I'm gonna think of
Yeah,
what the
like
name.
honestly, I am also blanking.
Yeah, I say I'm blanking
Despite the
right
fact,
now, and it's gonna come to us later. We're just gonna be like, oh, that's what it's called.
yeah, like it's honestly we just call them hanging pots. Um, but yeah, it's like T.O.C will, just sort of scratch through like the basic gardening skills, like you know, here's how to repot something. Here's how to, deadhead without hurting the plant.
Yeah, and Scratch is watching you intensely as he is learning so much.
Yeah, like T.O.C just has like a moment like, huh? Because like they always keep like having people under their tutelage who are smarter than them. Like it's big Marcy vibes about like
Mhm.
Marcy's much better at baking than them, and yet they were somehow the teacher. Like this child's probably much more intelligent than they are. So they're just gonna, give him some skills.
There's a reason why wisdom and intelligence are two separate stats.
Mm,
Scratch isn't street smart like this. He doesn't know how to garden traditionally.
mm, gosh. Yeah, like it's I think that they will dig out like a gardening book out of their hammer space at some point that's like mostly pictures because that's actually easier for them.
Mhm.
And like they'll let Scratch have a go at it because like if he comes from the realm of books, then maybe that'll make it easier for him to learn.
Yeah, and Scratch like he does his version of a smile again at the book as he like looks through it and really studies it. And let's see, let's roll a nature to see how well he retains this and or does this.
Mm.
The potted plants are very large compared to this small little boy.
Hun,
Let's just go with that.
gosh.
he tries to he tries to mimic everything, but he just ends up making a mess because he's a small he's a tennis size of a tennis ball. These are house plants.
Mm. Yeah, I think at one point T.O.C has to lift the can off of Scratch and like sort of shake the water out of him.
Yeah, they
Because like he is very small
he
and he has like all right.
oh kitty
Kitty.
kitty.
I swear to God my cat is fine. That's just the way he sounds.
It's okay. It's all right.
Mm. Yeah, it's but yeah,
Cats
Scratch is small and he has no strength modifier. So you can imagine the sort of stress he's under.
exactly. And after you like wave him out, he just poofs. He just gets a little bit bigger, just and a little bit fuzzier.
Mm. Yeah, they give him a little pat with their wing and they go, "Soon you will be strong and mighty, and then you will be better at gardening." You are
yeah.
doing perfectly well uh for a beginner.
He glows, yo. Thanks. I'm hoping one day
Mhm.
to get. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll have my ambulata form will be my permanent form. I really hope that maybe one day I could have a form like that. Be a bit bigger.
Hmm. They nod sagely. Like they get sort of looking forward to being different, to seeing what else you'll be. Like that is unfortunately very relatable to them.
Mhm.
And I think like it's sort of for now, why don't we see what your father left you to eat?
Yeah.
And if it's something bad, then we can have pastries and vegetables.
We got chili in the fridge.
Hmm. They look skeptical, however, they will try the chili.
Yeah, as T.O.C opens up the fridge, half of it is like made room for this giant pot of chili.
Mm. I think that they'll go find a spoon and just like just taste a little bit of the cold chili, like
Oh,
scale
this
of 1 to 10, how good's this chili?
this chili is a 20. This is stagehand chili. You,
Alright.
yeah, this is like the best chili, some of the best chili you've ever tasted in your life.
Alright, yeah, I think they, begrudging, "Alright, alright. Well played, nerd." Um,
Yeah, we got the chili's from Lynn. She's a friend of ours. She makes a lot of chili. She makes the best chili.
hmm, if, she is as good as this chili, then she has my approval. But in the meantime, uh, I'm pretty sure that you could swim in this pot, so perhaps I will get you a little U-sized bowl. Do you have any thimbles?
Ah, I got something. I got something. As he goes over to the cabinet and he takes out a. Do I have it? Do I have the picture? Please tell me I have the picture. He takes out a little mug that. Please tell me I have this picture. It's adorable. Comment. You did so good. That looks like a little chick.
They just look at this thing in Scratch's little hands or whatever appendages Scratch has,
Yeah, Scratch
and they
has
just
had little hands, and he like carries over and has this little mug of uh, this little mug that's shaped like a chick. Big sis got it
yeah,
for me for Animus.
they look down at this tiny thing, and there's a moment of a heavy silence, and then they just sign, "This is adorable."
Oh, you should see what she got for mom and dad. As he then goes back and pulls out these little mugs of an owl and a kitty.
Oh gosh, they're just like again, they are just, "This is adorable." It's indeed.
Indeed, they are. Comment,
Mm,
you again did an amazing job on these. These are so cute.
gosh, and they actually um they pull out of their hammer space a very small little package because I think it took them a little bit longer to find something for Scratch than it did something for Scribbles.
Oh,
Um and they sort of place it on the ground and they say, "Why don't you open that up while the chili is cooking?"
for me? Really? For me? As he goes over the present.
Hmm. Well, it's too small to be for me, so I should hope so.
As he then opens the present very excitedly.
Hmm. It is it's like a little origami star, and on each of the surfaces of the star there is um a very small little picture, rough. It was probably done with like a little piece of graphite from a pencil,
Mm-hmm.
but it, and as he turns the origami star in different directions, it tells different stories depending on um what direction he goes in.
Oh, I've seen those. Those are so cool. And his eyes are like have little stars in it as he like he goes through everything and just flips this sort of origami like to look at all the stories. This is so cool.
Mm. They just sort of privately to themselves, T.O.C is relieved because they remember the children that they knew when they were younger being into stories, and they remember their girl being into stories and their girl's best friend being very into stories. They're like, children still like stories, right? Like little inventive little stories that encourage creativity. Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, Scratch is eating this little origami thing up. He is loving it.
Gosh. Yeah, like they I think that like they're just going to like put the mug of chili near him so that can be there for whenever his attention span runs out on this.
Yeah, that nice smell of chili quickly wafts over Scratch, and say he puts down the origami gently and away from the chili so he doesn't like mess up his gift and starts eating it.
Mm.
Which is sort of weird because he has no mouth, but yet it's one of those things that's just like it slowly disappears as he
Yeah,
with each spoonful.
there's a little munch punch punch sound.
Yes.
Gosh. I think there's like a good little like moment of silence during the meal. Like it's the best family suppers are the ones without words because the food is that good, and
Mhm.
everyone can just vibe together. Like it's sort of that energy for a bit.
Mhm.
Mm. And it just I don't know if T.O.C knows, but does Scratch have a class?
He does not.
Like,
He does have a class, but TOC wouldn't know it.
okay. I think that like
The one thing TOC, if DOC can detect magic, yeah, this little fella is made of magic. You honestly would
maybe
get a
not.
yeah. It's just like you would get a migraine if you focus too much on Scratch.
Hmm. I think that like they're not like trying to bore into his soul, but they are sort of regarding him thoughtfully as he eats. And like well,
I mean, you
towards
can
the
roll
end of the
Arcana
bowl.
if you want.
Oh joy, why not? 6. Yep, it's just a little fella.
Just a little fella that he's just a ball of concentrated pure magic.
It's a little bundle of joy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that like they will regard this little fella for a while, and towards the end of the chili, they will sign. Scratch, is your father arranged any self defense lessons for you?
I'm Scratch looks up at Talk. Um, no, but we don't even know what kind of offensive spells that I could possibly do. That's why we were gonna go over to Saluma to figure that out.
Hmm. Well, no, I was thinking more if someone grabs you when you don't want them to. How if I picked you up and you didn't want me to pick you up, what would you do?
Um, I mean, I can wriggle out of the way, and if it's really bad,
Hmm.
I can have I can have my dad look through my eyes, and he can cast spells through me.
Hmm. Okay. TOC is going to roll deception on something because all right, a 15. They very quietly do not look horrified at the thought of only defending yourself with magic because like that talking about putting all your eggs in one basket there, friends. Um
Let's roll insight for Scratch. He's actually not that bad at it.
oh god. What
Scratch
would be in that 20 folks?
Scratch would notice that and just looks very confused because he grew up with a wizard. That's all you can defend with when you're a wizard is magic and cantrips at the least.
Yeah, and then he talks to grandparent barbarian and they're like yeah, like I think that with a not 20, like they're just like, "Oh, honey. Okay. All right, we can fix this." Um, and they will go, "Hmm, Scratch, would you? Hmm." would you be open to me just running you through just in case you can't use your magic for some reason, just maybe some contingencies.
Oh, like a dagger or something?
You are too small for a knife. But and knives can be taken away as well. Well, just eat your supper. Do not hurry, but when you're ready. Sweetheart, no, come on.
Yeah, I saw your comment, Magic. I mean, technically they can use knives, but at the same time, wizards are known for their cantrips when all else fails. Though if there is like no anti-magic spells, they probably would have to resort to that.
Mm, Knives.
Knives,
What
sling.
do you have? A knife? No.
Yes.
The T.O.C is not giving a literal toddler a knife for stabbing. Nona would give a child a knife. Lemia is a child with a knife. That might be a fun FPS for someday.
Oh
But
yeah.
quote from Medic, give the toddler a knife. It's not the first time you've done it, author. Alright. Sorry. I'm a little bit loopy.
No,
But
you're
yeah,
fine. It's hilarious.
like TFC will like settle into like a little potato shape on the floor, sort of at Scratch's level, and they sort of just like gesture like in sort of the universal like, all right, come at me.
Scratch looks at this thing, looks at this chicken, and he's just like, okay. As he goes over to try to punch the chicken. Uh,
Would Scratch like to roll an attack?
yeah, he's doing that right now. I was just double checking something. That's a 12. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit T.O.C's AC.
They will actually they're actually going to basically like just step into the hit, like even if he like it completely whiffed, like they will lean forward so that it connects.
I mean, that's just 1 point of damage.
Mm, yeah, and they go very good. That's a very good start.
It
Now,
is?
why don't because the most important thing when you are faced with a fight that you don't think you can win is to not give up. Now, why don't I show you um a few weak points on people that are larger than you. How high
Oh,
can you jump?
he just he looks at himself and just flies straight upward.
That is actually very cool.
Weak points, you
And
mean like the core they're being like my book?
say again?
I mean, if something hurts or destroys my book, I mean, I'm not very sure what would happen now, but I mean, I could possibly die.
I please do not die. No, I was thinking more like the eyes. There's not a lot of armor around one's eyes. Um, if faced with a dire situation, it's probably you could probably just fly into someone's eye. Um,
Oh,
but the book is, I suppose that is in a way a comfort. Um, if the book is where the U is, then perhaps you would simply wind up there.
I mean,
I
in
think
theory, we haven't. I mean, I.
do not test this.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm not pretty sure if I would want to test it, but but most of the things used to just pass right through me. But now that I'm somewhat solid, I'm not very see like. I think that would still work. Then I try to hit me.
TFC looks at the toddler.
I mean, we haven't full. It was a theory, but we haven't fully tested out. Scribble said, Dad says that maybe I still have some of my original powers where I cannot be hit or touched.
Hmm. I think instead TFC is going to like basically like do a grapple check, and if they succeed, they're gonna pull him into a noogie.
All right, and I'm
And
gonna.
I believe that's my athletics versus your acrobatics, and I believe barbarians get advantage on those.
I say usually I'm gonna roll a percentile really quickly to see if he can try to perfect this.
All right,
Yeah, he is a. Let me make that grapple check.
all
That.
right, all right. A 19.
Yeah, Scratch like tries to like phase himself, but can't really get it. Like there's like a flicker of like phasing, like it just very briefly. It looks like he's like gone, like sort of see through, but it quickly disappears as you are able to grapple him.
Oh, hun. Yeah, they just like very carefully just like noogie the floof,
Hey, hey! I
and the,
stop it.
yeah they will set uh they'll set him back on the ground, and they go, it it is always good to have multiple options.
Mm,
And one of those, I hope, is just biting really, really hard. People don't necessarily want to keep hold of things that bite them really, really hard.
Scratch nods.
I I don't know if you have a mouth, and you don't have to tell me. Maybe that's private, but um,
I mean,
if you could chew the chili, then perhaps you could also chew bad guys.
Scratch shrugs his shoulders, like,
Hmm.
maybe. But I would like to still try practicing you a little bit longer with the phasing thing. I want to say if I do get into a fight, I do want to see like I did feel something. Like I feel like I can do it. I just need to practice a little bit more.
Hmm. They nod gravely, and they take up sort of a ready stance, like almost like they're going to fight, but like instead of like they're just going to try to like contain the child a couple more times.
Yeah.
Like basically, like this is rough housing.
Yeah. Rough housing. And let's see. Yeah, it takes them a little bit longer than like you like it takes them a while, but it doesn't take them that long, but still takes them a little bit as they you continue roughhousing and you're like continually like grappling him and stuff. Eventually, he go he when you go to one point for grappling, you just like phase right through him as like a ghost would, and he's like, huh, "I did it! I controlled it that time! Yes!"
Mm. T.O.C is very carefully not going to look grim, because if someone's trying to hurt you, sometimes you don't get multiple tries. But that's a very pessimistic look. outlook on this, and the child is happy with himself. So instead, they're just going to look impressed because they are impressed.
Yeah, yeah. And he goes. Uh, Never mind. Sorry. Anyways, he goes straight towards you. It looks like he's about to hug, but then as you try to hug him, it's sort of like a psych as he goes right through you. Hee hee hee.
Mm. I think that their head sort of like follows him. Like if you've ever seen a chicken tracking like a spider they're thinking of going for,
Mhm. And
like
he's just floating right behind you, chuckling like a little kid way. He's like, haha, I fooled you.
mm, gosh. I mean, I'm already this like sort of zooming out on them, like basically like you know just sort of like having a good time like sparring like this.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that's a good place to like zoom out a little bit. There's like a little brief shot of Scribbles coming back later to see them playing, and he's smiling. He's very happy.
Oh gosh.
Oh, this is so soft and adorable.
Mm.
I
Thank
love.
you so much, Winona. This was delightful.
Yeah, thank you so much. I say this has been awesome, and say it's just so adorable, so soft.
All right, I will stop recording. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
listening
you.
audience, so much.
Thank you so much for listening in. Have a good day, good night, have a good time. So bye.
Boy.